Hey guys, it's Bailey from Making Up the Midwest, and today I'm here with an IMATS haul. Just last weekend, or yesterday as I filmed this, I got to go to IMATS New York, which was so much fun. I did it last year, so this was my second year going, and it was just as much fun, if not more so than last year. There's lots of makeup to be had, so I'm going to try and hurry this intro up, but I do want to give you a little bit of details because it is all about the experience. It's not just about buying makeup, you know. You get to see a ton of other people there who love it, you know, whether it's movie makeup and special effects or just having fun with makeup just as much as you do. So I thought I'd share a little bit of that with you before I got into the haul. So when I first went there, I met up with Sam from Sammy's Makeup Corner. Here on YouTube, I'll link her in the bottom bar, as well as Nikki from Hello Miss Nikki is her blog. I think that is her YouTube channel as well. Again, I'll link both of their channels in the bottom bar, and we shopped our butts off. I got in line at a little after 8, which was huge. I have a few pictures that I'll probably splash in and out of here as I chit-chat about this, but the line was insane, and the doors opened at 8, I believe, so Sammy and Nikki had already gone. They were there bright and early, and so they were already in the convention center, and I waited in line until probably getting the door at around 8:45, which wasn't awful, but it was packed there on Saturday. So met up with them, and we just had a blast. So I'm going to share with you what we got. So the first booth I made a beeline for was the Naked Cosmetics booth, because last year I got some of their pigments, and I love them. They're just great and so multifaceted and multifunctional, and I love that in the product. So knew I had to go there. That was the first place I went. Plus they didn't have a huge line. I feel like they're kind of underrated as a cosmetics line goes, and so they didn't have a huge line. I went there first thing, and I got 2 stacks because typically they are $60 per stack, and you get six pigments a stack, so $10 a pigment. But at IMATS they were $30 for 1 stack or 2 for $50. So just unbeatable deal. If you're gonna get any, that, you know, you have to get them then. So I got 2 stacks. This one is Twilight, I believe, and it's full of kind of duochrome-y. It's almost like the Ivory stack, which is full of white pigments that all have a color shift, but these are kind of pigmented when you look at them when they're not wet, but then once you get them wet, they just turn. It's so beautiful, and so I love a good shadow with a surprise. So I got this stack, and I'll probably show you 1 or 2 of these swatched wet and dry, but I don't want to give everything away. Plus, I'd like to get through all of these in a timely manner, so you can see a full review and swatches on the blog when they are up. Either subscribe to the blog to stay updated, or just check the link in the bottom bar that I will hopefully keep updated as I put these reviews and swatches up. The next stack I got was Tropical Indulgence, and that obviously is just colorful. Has pinks, gold peach duochrome, a few, one's like a periwinkle blue, one's a blue purple, and then 2 teal, one's more green, then one's more blue, and they're just, all of them are beautiful. And these are kind of more face value pigments, whereas these kind of transformed when you mix them with a medium. These are bright in the pot, and they are bright when you put them on. So just something fun. I feel like I got very neutral wearable pigments last time I was there, and so I thought I'd branch out and go a little crazy. And I'm actually wearing this kind of vibrant fuchsia right under my eyes here, and then I think I used one of these periwinkle colors in my crease, and love them. Love them. Right across from the Naked Cosmetics booth was the Yabby or Yaby booth, and many of you will know that those shadows, these tiny little circular shadows from that brand, came in a glam bag or an Ipsy bag from a month or 2 ago. So I was familiar with the brand, but I wasn't so in love with their shadows that I knew I had to have them. So I was looking around, testing out the shadows. They have some lip glosses and things like that, but what really caught my eye were these pans that they have. They have just regular, all sorts of sizes of pans. These are a medium size, and these are a small size, and I think they had a larger size. But they are just pans that you can use to press your pigments, as well as magnets to put on the back of these pans if they don't magnetize to your palette. Like, they magnetize to Yabby's palettes, but I'm not sure if they do to, like, I haven't tried them in my Z palette yet. So I went ahead and bought magnets anyway, because anytime I depot shadows, you always need a good magnet. So it was a good investment. Anyway, the reason I got these was because, as I was just talking about with my pigments, I love them, but because they aren't as readily accessible, you do have to kind of take some time to play with them, foil them, do whatever it is you're going to do with them. I just find I'm not using them as much, which is a shame because I love them. So I got these with the intent to press them. Please don't ask me how. I will probably look it up in a YouTube tutorial, but it'll probably involve like rubbing alcohol and mixing it and then pouring it in here, pressing it. You know the drill, kind of like when you break a powder or shadow. That's my plan. If you guys have done this before and know of a better way, I'd love to hear in the comment section. But yeah, this is basically just to keep my pigments more accessible and use them so I can use them more often. Along those same lines, I got this pack of empty lip gloss tubes, and you'll hear them rattling around because they have little balls in them to keep the product inside mixed up. But all of these pigments from Naked Cosmetics can be used as lip glosses as well as nail polish, hair color streaks. I mean, they're just very versatile, very multifunctional. But again, it takes time to mix them with a clear gloss, apply them, then they don't stay all day. So, you know, how do you keep applying this lip gloss that you've, you know, taken the time to mix up? So I saw these and thought, again, what a way to make pigments more accessible throughout the day and more readily available to use since I love them. The next booth I went to was a brand called 2 Cosmetics, and it was a relatively unassuming booth. You know, it wasn't very big, not a whole lot of product, but I overheard someone working there talking to someone shopping there saying that they were cosmetics with a cause. So that kind of piqued my interest. I walked over, checked out the products, and what they are is a brand that for every product you buy, they donate one to a cause. Like in looking at their website, it says they support military spouses and also Weave Inc. I'm not sure what that charity is, but just the whole premise of, you know, kind of giving back when buying a product, and when it's a one-for-one aspect like that is very appealing to me. So I thought I would try out some of their products to let you know, just in case you want to buy some of them and in turn donate to one of these charities. So I got quite a few eyeshadows from them actually. They have, let's start with these. They had some really pretty shimmery, just says eyeshadow, so I don't know if it's a particular kind, but they were just very metallic and creamy when I gave them a try. So here is a teal shade. Actually the packaging is very similar to MAC's, so it doesn't feel super sturdy or anything. Oh, actually, look at that. It opens up on the inside. I totally did not even know that. That's what was rattling around and why it didn't feel sturdy. So get a little applicator in there. And then here is the pan. That's a gorgeous teal. And I also got this kind of green, like antique goldy green color. And this I am wearing on my inner thirdish kind of area, and it's very smooth. It goes on very smoothly and almost has the texture of a cream, which is what really drew me to this texture. They also had some matte finish shadows that I got, and these are in white packaging and they don't have the same compartment that the others did, but I thought I would give these a try as well because, you know, it's always good to have good matte shadows. These are colored shadows. They kind of remind me of those in the Balm's Meat Matte palette. So yeah, these are those, kind of a light navy and a light mauve purple kind of thing. Last two shadows, at least, that I got were, again, interesting because it's the same color, but it's two different finishes. So on one side you'll have, they're both yellow, this kind of mustardy yellow, but on one side it's a shimmer mustard yellow, and on the other side it's a matte, which I think is very cool and great for traveling. Yeah, so here's the forest. It's actually more of a hunter green, and the distinction between the shimmer and the matte on this one is a little more noticeable, I feel, because the shimmer, no, I guess it's a green shimmer, but for whatever reason they just look more different than the mustardy yellow did. Either way, they both look gorgeous, and I'm really excited to see how exactly each texture and shadow kind of pays off. Then the last thing I got from this brand were lip glosses because they looked gorgeous. I got this shade called Desire, which is a mauve with serious gold sparkly flecks. And then this, which is just a kind of candy apple red, and it has a slight, I'd say like light fuchsia kind of shimmer. But I like red glosses because they're just a good addition to a red lip. So got those two as well. Lately I've really been loving lashes. Like in the past 2 videos I've started wearing lashes, and I feel like that extra ½ inch, it just gives you that extra oomph, you know, makes your eyes really pop. And so I've really been loving them. So I thought I would kind of start experimenting more with them. And what a better place to do it than IMATS, because it was lashes galore. So one of the places I went was Lady Moss, I believe was the booth, but they had red cherry lashes. Like these are, I feel like everyone and their brother has used these on YouTube. They're just so either good or just well known. I didn't really know. So I went to the booth and I grabbed 5 pairs because it was like 5 for $11 or something. It was a really good deal, I thought. They're so comfortable. In fact, I think these are going to make it easier to wear lashes. The lashes that I've been wearing before, I liked them, but they were so uncomfortable, and I thought maybe it's just my eyes, they're not used to wearing them. Maybe I'm allergic to the adhesive, you know, something like that. But I think it was the lash band. They were just a cheap pair of glasses with a super thick, inflexible lash band, and that truly does make all the difference in the world. These lash bands are teensy and super comfortable. It doesn't even feel like I'm wearing lashes, so that's good to know. And I got a few different, I think these are all different kind of styles that you'll probably see in upcoming videos because I think I'm becoming a lash lover. Also went to the Ardell booth because they were having some good deals on lashes, and I got a few different kinds of lashes. Again, I don't think I'll go too in-depth with these because you'll either A, see them in a tutorial, or B, see them in reviews on the blogs. But these also look like they had pretty thin bands. Oddly enough, I've never tried Ardell's, I don't think, and so this will be another kind of experiment with me. But they look great, and some of them are fun and some of them are very basic, but like these are color impact, so they enhance your eye color. These are for hazel or green, yeah, brown, hazel, and green eyes, so they're very subtly tinted purple, which I thought was really interesting. Sammy got the lashes for blue eyes, or maybe they got the blue lashes. I can't remember, but they got some of these as well, and in a different color than mine, so it'll be interesting to see how they use them and what they think of them. When I finally met up with Sam and Nikki, they had already kind of been to all of the booths around the area, or at least all those that they really meant to hit up. One of them was Jesse's Girl, so they were showing me all of these polishes that they had gotten while we were out to lunch, and I immediately knew I had to go back and I had to go get some of the Julie G nail polishes because I have a few of them and I know what a great formula they are, and I don't have Rite Aid anywhere near me, so then was the time. It was the time to purchase. So I got 3 Julie G polish colors as well as this palette that they had for $5 sitting around, and so I thought, I swatched a few of the shadows on my hand and thought they were pretty decent quality considering this doesn't seem like terrible. I mean, it's plastic packaging, the squares are pretty small. It just didn't strike me as being of good quality, but I swatched a few of them. They seemed okay, so I went ahead and dove in. So I got that, but then I also got these Julie G colors, one of which is, let's see, Bikini, which come to find out they sold out on Sunday. This is Bikini. It's like an electric coral color, which I am in love with. I saw Sam, actually I think both Sam and Nikki got this and knew I had to have it. I also got this bright pink in the color OMG, and it's very similar to at least 2 other polishes I have, but those polishes aren't very opaque, and to me, Julie G's formula is notorious for being nice and not too thick, but thick and opaque at 2 coats maximum. Like, it just is perfect. So had to get this because I love this color for summer. And then the last one I got is this pastel, 9 to 5, and this is just a pastel peach, which it just reminds me of summer. Pastels are going to be very big. It just reminds me of ice cream, kind of. So had to get that because who doesn't love ice cream? Next, we all went to the brush booth, and I think this was called Morphe. I think that's how you pronounce it, makeup brushes. I think they're basically a private label brush company because they had a ton of brushes that I've noticed under Crown and BH Cosmetics. You know, it's just like, and these are all blank, so I think they are, you know, waiting, at least this one is. I guess this one isn't, but I think they're private label brushes, so you'll see similar brushes from different brands, namely the ones I just mentioned. So let's get to this oddball first. This does not have a number on it, so I don't know what model it is, but many of you might recognize this from a limited edition MAC collection that came out, I don't even know when, a holiday, maybe not this holiday, but the previous holiday. And I've never owned a MAC brush in my life, so I wasn't about to start with this brush that I had no idea what to do with it, but it was $6 and it felt good, and there were only like 3 left, so I just did it. I just got it, and I used it to contour today actually, and I really like it. Alright, now I think we are actually nearing the end, believe it or not. The last stop I made was Inglot, which the booth was packed all day, and I kept just thinking I'll go to the Inglot in Times Square and show my wristband because last year they honored the discount, the IMATS discount at the store in Times Square, so I thought I'm not waiting in that. It was like a mosh pit, just crowds and crowds of people around Inglot, and so I just thought, no thanks, I'll go to the one in Times Square. But towards the end of the day, like 3:30-ish, the crowd started to really thin where you could actually go up and touch the makeup before you purchased it, which was really nice. And so I did, and I got quite a few shadows, although I found out a few were dupes, but we'll get to that later. So here I have them already depotted in my palette, and I guess I'll just go through them now for you. So this is the 441, which is an iridescent kind of purple. I'll have close-up swatches of these as I talk. And I got my first matte shadow from them, which is this very basic cream color, but it's a kind of a necessary color if you ask me. Great for the crease or the brow bone or the inner corner, whatever you're feeling that day. It's just a very basic yet essential shadow. And I haven't tried any matte from Inglot, so this is 313. It's just a matte cream color. This is a maroon shade and it is $4.50. I think it's a pearl color, but it's just, I love a good maroon, and so many maroons that I have found are either limited or they come in a palette or something. So I thought if I could find an individual maroon shadow and point someone to it, I totally would, because in my mind maroon is a harder color to come across. This shimmery fella is number 12. And I don't know if it's it looks like it's more than a pearl. It looks like it's a little glittery, but it's like a chocolate, a deep metallic chocolate brownish, which I really like. And here is 465, which is a deep shimmery, well, glittery actually taupe. I wouldn't call it pearl or shimmer. It's like downright glittery taupe, which I also have. I use as a base color on my eye. Now I have a few shadows, well, two at least, that look very similar to Inglot shadows I already have, because apparently I just can't get enough of those colors. And then one I actually duped. I mean, it's the exact same shadow. So I'm going to show you those, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with those. So the first of all, the one that I got that was exactly the same, so I just don't have to open it up, is this 420, which is a purple, kind of gunmetal with a hint of lilac-y purple in it, which is beautiful. Obviously, I thought so the first time I bought it and did so the second time I bought it. So I actually have this exact same shadow, which I love but don't need two of. The next shadow is number 15, which I think is another glittery shadow, and number 407, which is a pearl shadow, I'm nearly positive. But they're both this kind of light tangerine orange shade or peach shade, and the truth is that they're different. They're different finishes, but I wear this color so rarely that I only need one to have fun, basically. So I'm not going to open this one. I'm just going to go ahead and keep using the other one that I have. And then the last shade, which isn't actually all that close, really they're the same finish but slightly different colors, is this lime green, or number 41, and number 412, which is slightly deeper. It's not nearly as bright as this one on my left, your right, but even still, kind of like that tangerine-y color. It's just one of those colors where I only need one to have the fun that I want to have. Now, what am I going to do with these, you might ask? Well, I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy two more of my favorite shadows, put them in an empty palette, an unused empty palette that I have of Inglot's, and do a giveaway. So look for that in coming videos or blog posts. I'm not sure where I'll have it, but I figure, you know, I have these shadows. I don't think I can return them, so I might as well give them to somebody who wants them, because I can't tell you how much I love these shadows, and yeah, I want somebody else to experience that as well. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for hopefully making it all the way through this haul. I had such a great time at IMATS. Oh, and I also want to give a special shout out to Jackie, who came up to me in front of the Lit Cosmetics booth, said hi. Thank you so much for doing that. It's always so much fun to meet people who watch the videos, and you know, should you ever find me or see me anywhere, please feel free to do the same, because I love it. I love meeting you. Again, check the information bar for reviews and swatches of products that I've mentioned, either from past IMATS or this IMATS as they start appearing, because I hope to get them up relatively quickly, and I think that is finally all from me. So again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!